I used to always put purple over my hair like this, and the blonde would be like super purple, and then dark purple on the top is the prettiest thing in the world. I love purple. But I'm not allowed to.
Okay, let's start over here. Sorry about that. Okay, so again, we have the wrong sides touching, and I'm matching. I'm going to do 1/4 of an inch, just that the legs of the first of the dart that were cut open, and I'm going to do start in the middle of the fabric and back stitch back out to the end, and pull these threads to help you get it out of the out of underneath the foot. So I'm doing little stitches, and I'm stopping, adjust. So sometimes you have to move the chiffon over. So do you see how I'm lined up against the edge of the dart, and do you see how I'm sewing off? Here, I'll show you what that looks like, because I'm about to close it up, so I need to show you what this looks like. So I basically sewed a straight, so I guess I shouldn't have told you to fade out, that didn't make any sense, but do you see how I just followed the leg of the dart and I sewed the 1/4 of an inch?
Oh, so not fade out to nothing. I see.
No, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
So do you see how it's, let me put it on the table. Here, we'll come back to the table and then come it. Because this one is very odd. Okay. I know. Okay, so remember, if you were going to wear this, right now it would look like it was on the outside.
Oh, but you also have to trim the 1/16 off and not for this.
Not for this, yeah. Although we always recommend to trim off
Mine's
the fuzzy.
the S6.
We always recommended the number.
Mine's Note 4. Yeah, I'm gonna post
See how it's
everything on
already
YouTube.
colored?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just require it.
Yeah, because last time I did
It
it,
cuts fabric away.
that one doesn't. You just post it up. Yeah, YouTube.
Yeah. Should I bring my scissors with me? Okay, I'm gonna, one more second and I'm walking over there.
I'm going to YouTube.
See how it's a 1/4 of an inch? You're just following the legs of the dart.
Do you backstitch the very top there
Always
as well?
backstitch
Okay,
everything.
I thought, can we just like make the stitch narrower like
You
did before?
can, yeah, you can. I'll talk
Not as
about
good.
that I'll talk about, we did 1/4 of an inch. And so now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim off all these little fuzzy bits, or maybe my sewing wasn't perfect. So here's my opportunity to fake it. See how I messed up a little bit there? I didn't really line up the edges, so I'm just gonna kind of clean that up, right? Okay, so now I'm gonna flip it. So now it's the wrong size touch. Oh, I'm sorry, you're gonna go iron it. At this point you would iron it to one side. Check from the front, make sure you don't have any bubbles or anything sticking out. Make sure you cut away all these threads. Try to stay on top of clipping, otherwise, yeah, and it gets really messy. Okay, so now I'm gonna look for the end of my dart and the notches that I had, which they're right here. So I'm gonna find that, and you can put a pin horizontally. I don't know if you guys have already found good quality pins for your chiffon, but you'll notice if you don't have sharp pins, it's going to snag your fabric. Okay, so you definitely want this to be ironed so that it will lay flat. All right, so now I'm just going to line up my notches, and I'm going to look for the end of my my drill hole, which means I have to exceed the 1/2 inch past it. So I'm just going to line this up. And then you also want this seam to be centered as well. So hold the 2 threads to help it through.
Are you sewing at the notches?
Yeah, I'm starting at the notches. And you know how when you sew dart, you have to kind of use that imaginary line where you imagine your, wherever the notches are to where your fade point is. But as I'm doing that, do you see how I'm also having to control this first dart that I did? So I want to make sure that it stays balanced.
And that's the one that you would fade out.
This is a normal dart.
Yeah.
So this one, yes, you were going to fade it out. And since I pinned horizontally, I can go over the pin and then back stitch. Oh yeah, I was going to talk about. So there is another way to end your chiffon, which I'll show you on a scrap here. So decrease it. Decrease it
You still
down.
do the like 1/2 inch above the table.
Yeah, because it's still a dart. And then do you see how the dart encapsulated this one? And you want to make sure you iron that. Okay, so another way here, I'll do a bust dart. So another way to decrease it would be if I had, let's say, a bust dart here. You can just, actually there's even another way where you sew from the bobbin and you take your bobbin thread and you thread up through the needle. So you only use one thread for both the top and the bobbin. And it creates this circular thread. It always blows my mind. Okay, so here I go. I'm fading out for my bust dart. So I'm going to decrease it down to like maybe 1.5 and then fade off. And then always remember to return back your stitch length. So that decreased stitch, you're still supposed to cut close, and that stays on its own. And then there's another way that people do where they hand tie a knot at the end of the darts. So I don't actually like that.
Which one's industry?
It depends. Like I have a Miu Miu dress where they have bust darts, and it's 3 stitch length, and at the end they didn't decrease it. They just hand tied one knot, which yes, it did come off when you wear it.